Wolf.
Yeah, we just got a tweet from the San Mateo County Sheriff. San Bruno's in San Mateo County in regards to active shooter situation at YouTube headquarters. San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini will be making a statement at 2:30 p.m. That's Pacific time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Media staging areas at the corner of Traeger Avenue and Bay Hill Drive in San Bruno. So momentarily, it's almost 5:30 right now here on the East Coast, 2:30 out on the West Coast. We should be getting a statement from the police. Police Chief Ed Barberini. Shimon, you're getting more information.
Yeah, that's right. It's coming from our CNN, our Evan Perez. We're being told that the shooter here was a woman, was a female shooter, and that she is dead. And it would appear, according to these sources, that the situation, at least at this point, is contained. It doesn't appear that they're looking for any other shooter. We don't know if anyone else was shot, but the shooter at least is dead. We don't know if that's from a self-inflicted wound or if police shot her. But at this point, it appears that the situation is contained and somewhat under control.
Do we have any information about casualties?
No, we don't have any other information on any other casualties. All we know right now is that at least some information about the shooter.
That's pretty unusual, Josh Campbell. A female shooter in an incident like this, we rarely hear that.
No, you're absolutely right. This is obviously a different dynamic, something that we're not used to. I was talking with a law enforcement source, and I asked, is this someone that was perhaps a victim? Maybe you just came across, and they said no, that we at least suspect that this was the person that was involved in perpetrating this incident. So at least they're comfortable enough now saying that. We'll have more details that are going to come, obviously, at this press conference. But you're right, Wolf. This is not the typical profile of one of these type of shooters. Obviously, there's so much that we don't know about her, and we can say her now. About her past, her history. One thing that we've seen in a lot of these shootings is now law enforcement will go back and look back through their own holdings and say, try to determine, did we know this person? That's going to happen to the state level, the local level, the federal level, in order to determine, was this someone that was on law enforcement's radar, or is this someone who just, acted maybe without anyone else knowing, or, being someone that law enforcement at least was aware of. So that will all be part of this investigation. We can be assured that that look back, that research, that investigation is taking place right now as we watch the event unfold.
Basically, just to recap, it's now believed a female shooter, apparently dead, involved in this incident at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California. We don't know the extent of casualties. We do know Stanford University Medical Center, not too far away, is reporting at least 4 or 5 individuals en route to the hospital there. Other hospitals in the area are reporting individuals on the way or already admitted. This clearly doesn't necessarily fit the profile that we've seen so many times over the years.
It doesn't, but we got a lot of questions to answer before we close this out. So we have an identification now, I would assume. You've got digital and other information you're going to acquire. I got to interview the friends and family and determine whether she was the only one. I want to look at the digital profile, including things like Facebook, to determine whether there was communication with somebody else. But you're right, in terms of looking at female shooters, very few, although I would say in my world of terrorism over the past 10 years, the involvement of women in terrorism has changed. Shootings like this are really unusual.
Yeah, it's very unusual, but go ahead.
Yeah, certainly the FBI, they're tweeting there that they're on scene, but it's being handled by the locals, which would give you some indication, at least at this point, that the FBI doesn't think that this is terrorism, because if it was terrorism, they would be taking over the investigation. At least right now, there's some indications that perhaps this was more of a local type thing. Maybe some of the people there knew each other. This could have been some kind of a dispute, and not something bigger like any kind of terrorism. So the FBI is there, ATF is there, certainly supporting whatever the locals need. But as we've been saying, this appears to be under control, contained now, and the locals are handling, and hopefully we'll get more information on exactly who else may have been hurt here shortly.
We're standing by to hear from the San Bruno Police Chief, Ed Barberini. Momentarily, we're told he'll be making a statement. We've got cameras over there. We're ready to take that live. As soon as he walks up to the microphone, we'll get the latest from the San Bruno Police Chief.